Viper, aka Dr. Sabine Callis, is known as the second in command of the Valorant protocol and worked with Brimstone in setting up the organization. After looking into and researching her Valorant story, I truly believe she might be one of the most important people on the protocol. The only other agent tasked with more of a duty might be Sage, but that's a video for another day. Today, we're talking about Viper, and if you don't want to be on her bad side, I highly recommend not forgetting the doctor in Dr. Sabine.
You know, Viper, the name Sabine really fits you.
Never call me that again. If you do, though, it's Dr. Sabine, get it right.
Regardless, we'll look into their origins, personalities, goals, relationship with others, and the numerous theories surrounding the genius that is Viper. But first, I would deeply appreciate it if you considered liking and subscribing to this channel, as well as be a member in the future. I have these subscriber milestone goals. At 1K, we'll do a Q&A plus a deep dive video on one specific agent that you guys vote on. At 5,000 subscribers, I'll do a live stream power scaling video with the community, and then put out a separate video based on what you guys vote on, as well as my own opinions too. At 10,000 subscribers, I'll do a full-on video detailing everything that I can find in Valorant's lore, which will most likely be over 2 hours. Thank you for your time. Please consider subscribing, and let's get back on track with this topic. We know that Dr. Sabine is an excellent scientist, thanks to Vyse dossier, which tells us that Viper was a young prodigy, winning the R. Francis Prize at a young age, as well as the Denton Outstanding Innovation Award. These accolades definitely help her become the first Chief Scientist Officer on Kingdom's board of advisors. And like others on the protocol who used to work for Kingdom, her time with them was morally questionable at best.
The lies we've told this city. Just to pry it open and suck it dry.
However, what really changed was an incident that Fade points out. We can infer that Viper once used her knowledge to alleviate pain, but now we can assume that she prefers to administer it instead.
I look forward to watching the light leave their eyes.
Wow, Viper. You know what? I love your attitude.
And no, before anyone comments down below, you can't save her. She doesn't want to be saved.
Just think, Sabine. You used to heal with your skill. Funny.
I am your monster. You made me this way. Never forget that.
I also don't think the event that changed Viper was the assassination attempt, because Fade goes on to say that Viper was driven by vengeance. I think turning Omen's face into a monster energy can is more than what we can call getting even. This life-changing moment has to be something so great that till this day it motivates her to do her work the way she does. I want to say that Viper lost a loved one based on these voice lines.
Viper, have you thought about my offer? You don't have to.
Never, ever assume you can help me. You can't help me. You can't help them. What's it like, Reyna, fighting to keep a loved one alive? No, please. Tell me.
It's almost as if she's being sarcastic or envious of Reyna for having the chance to keep a loved one alive, while Viper herself cannot. To Sage, she makes it sound like multiple people were involved. The real scary thing is what will remain of Viper when she finally achieves her revenge, as Fate suggests. I believe her current demeanor is a coping mechanism to ensure that she doesn't feel similar pain again, which might explain why she's so focused on her scientific experiments so much as well. But hey, that's just a theory. I'm no psychologist or therapist. I want to mention Vyse, who is one of the newer agents in the protocol. One thing that is quite stark between the two is that they are very, and I mean very similar to each other. Maybe it's a scientist thing. They both think very pragmatically and in ones and zeros.
Use my poison to your advantage. I don't deploy it for kicks.
Success is the only axis that matters.
Fascinating. I must record this feeling.
Appreciate Breach's tactics.
Well done, Breach. I knew hiring you was a good idea.
You're a disruptive one, Breach. But that's welcome here. Go rattle their heads for us.
Are high on Omen's capabilities.
I never tire of watching you work, Omen.
Keep being their nightmare, old friend.
Had run-ins with the Scions of Hourglass.
Hourglass tried to kill me.
Worked for Kingdom.
So this is the project that sapped my funding all those years ago. Looks like it worked out well for you, Kingdom.
Aren't always the biggest fan of Brimstone's leadership and plans.
Don't tell me what to do, old man. Someone will die, no matter how fancy our strategy.
Their Brimstone will learn what real leadership looks like.
And look amazing in masks. If they're not related, then these two agents are the perfect definition of brothers from another mother. Well, I guess sisters in this case. We know that Viper has worked with Vyse in the past according to these voice lines,
Just like old times, Viper.
and that Agent 26 is more comfortable forgetting the doctor and Dr. Sabine.
Oh, Sabine. How did we both change careers and still end up working together? So long, Sabine. We saved the world once, Sabine. I don't doubt that we can do it again.
The only people on the protocol she doesn't demand the doctor part in Sabine is from Brimstone and Omen.
Don't die here, Sabine. I need your secrets.
They're the future, Sabine. You know you care about them.
They are considered very close to Viper, or at least have known her the longest. We need to hear more from Viper herself before we can start drawing our own theories, but I can't wait to know more about their past, as well as their working arrangements as researchers. And speaking of experiments, we know that Viper takes pride in making her toxins. These things are really strong enough to burn through a butterfly knife that was used in her assassination attempt. It was strong enough to help her overpower the Scions of Hourglass's best hitman, Ghost, aka Omen before his transformation. They wanted to take her out because she was getting close to exposing Radiantite to the world once again. However, her chemicals helped stop their plans. She would eventually trap Omen in a cage and change his life forever, leaving him, pun fully intended by the way, a ghost of his former self, with no memories of his past. She will formulate this concoction to be more airborne, causing rapid respiratory damage when inhaled. We see many times that she is focused on this green substance and perfecting them to whatever her desires are. A very diligent scientist through and through. I would figure these are a lot less deadly than the compounds that we saw in the Reckoning cinematic, that were able to eat away at objects. We can see that Phoenix and Reyna both cough a bit when breathing it in, but do not melt away like the butterfly knife Omen had. Regardless, these gases help her even the playing field, since she is only human, and at times go against Radiants, who have superhuman abilities. We have seen her get eliminated by Phoenix on Icebox, but as the devs have pointed out, there are ways for the protocol to cheat death. Outside of her own personal experiments, one of Viper's goals is keeping Reyna's sister, Lucia, alive and well. We don't know too much about her illness, but that Viper needs Reyna's life energy to keep her sister in the land of the living. Life energy that requires Reyna to take other people's life. Something that isn't quite easy to do.
Rim, I need you to increase Reyna's mission assignments. She has to collect more souls.
We're already pushing the boundaries of the equipment, but I need more. It's the transfer process. I'm losing too much in the conversion. For every unit infused, another 2 are lost. Life energy isn't exactly my area of expertise. I know this has dragged on. I thought I'd have a solution by now, a way to stabilize the chemical radiant equilibrium, but... But we owe it to Reyna. Collecting enough life for the both of them, it can't be easy. As long as the child lives, I have to keep trying. Because if we fail, I don't know what Reyna will do.
As many souls as it takes, Lucia. Te lo juro.
This is a very important task given to Viper. We know that in KO's alternate timeline, that Reyna goes fully unhinged and becomes the queen of Radiance when she starts a war between them and humans. This has left a lot of casualties. It's one of the reasons why KO traveled back in time to stop this from ever happening to any other timelines. If you watch my Civil War video, you kind of get an idea that Reyna is only working with the protocol for her sister's sake. If Lucia was to perish under Viper's watch, then I would imagine that being the catalyst/canon event to Reyna leaving the protocol altogether, tending to her Radiantite sanctuary in Mexico, and possibly starting a new Radiance war. And I want to say that this subplot kind of has an interesting parallel to Viper's past, mainly because she is once again tasked to be a healer for somebody. I wonder if saving Lucia would be the key to not only keeping Reyna happy, but reverting Viper back to her former self before tragedy struck her life. And speaking of her past, we don't know exactly where Viper was born, but as seen by this player card, we can assume that she has ties to Seattle. In this Snakebite short story cinematic, we can tell that she's a very pragmatic, no-nonsense individual who is driven by her work. As a controller, I can assume that she likes to be in charge of things too. The very first scene, we see that she doesn't even let the alarm clock dictate her sleep schedule, since she was already wide awake. There's also a scene where she's carefully measuring out coffee, as well as a player card that visualizes this too. Now, I'm no coffee fanatic, but I can only imagine that this equipment isn't cheap either. So I guess we can definitely say that coffee is her hobby. Same with staying in shape, as she was running pretty early in the morning. There's also a player card titled Home Against /Viper, where she's running in a rainy environment with lots of trees during the fall season. This environment does remind me of Seattle a bit. There are a number of stickers and player cards that depict Viper as a very stoic and serious individual when around others. However, she does respect some of KJ's gadgets and brilliance.
You did well, little mouse. Keep it up.
Even though Viper may come off as a stern individual, she has been able to compliment a number of agents on the protocol, including Breach, which she had a hand in hiring.
Well done, Breach. I knew hiring you was a good idea.
She has a level of respect for Brimstone, Raze, and Reyna as well.
Reyna, a woman after my own heart. You can't have it, though. I'm impressed, Brimstone. Looks like the fire is still lit. Raze, I will deny that I said this, but your inventions are valuable. Keep tinkering. I respect the predation of their Reyna. It's almost inspiring.
And even though she may find Chamber repulsive, she still recognizes his advances as pleasant from time to time, calling him charming.
You were charming, but not as clever as you think.
This definitely gives me those tsundere vibes. There are many times where she is envious of the youthful agents on the team and can come off as negative towards them.
Brimstone, we really need to put an age floor on Valorant. I can't take this youth.
They're the future, Sabine. You know you care about them.
What a shame to take Jet's young life. Truly a pity.
However, we have to remember that Viper is still a leader, and every good leader will encourage their team to do better, like how she does it with Neon, Phoenix, and Jet.
Neon, you can practice restraint later. You're at war now. I need the storm. Keep your fire going, Phoenix. To be young and have reflexes again. Good work, Jet. Neon, you know I'm supposed to be the scary one, right?
However, this is something that Sage can't really relate to.
Sage, you're the only one who can keep us alive. Don't fail us now like you failed me then.
She seems most fond of Omen, calling him a friend and making dark jokes in the process too.
One more time, Omen. How many times have you heard that now? Keep being their nightmare, old friend.
This is interesting because before he became Omen, he actually tried to kill her. This definitely has caused a rift between the two once Omen got parts of his memory back. And what I find interesting is if she kept this a secret from everyone, or if the likes of Brim and Sage knew about Omen's backstory too. Same with Cypher, who kind of just comes off as like a jerk in this voice line.
Omen, I have the information you asked for. But my price? My price hasn't been paid yet.
It is kind of messed up that she didn't tell Omen this despite him being so desperate to know his past. He went through a number of appointments with Fade and Sage trying to recover them. But like we said beforehand, Viper is a very pragmatic individual. She tends to think of things in zeros and ones rather than the emotional consequences of her actions.
Liam, we need to talk. When Omen didn't know about his past, he was contained, a known entity. We kept him in the dark to protect both him and us. I had to lie to him. He tried to kill me. Now he's starting to piece things together, and I can't anticipate his actions now. Will he retaliate? Maybe leave the protocol? There are too many variables out of my control. Keep an eye on him.
And I guess based on this email that Viper sent to Brimstone, their talk was quite productive and possibly even strengthened their relationship as friends.
You can relax, Sabine. I gain nothing from killing you now. Attend to the present, not the past. I've made my peace with our Viper. I cannot say the same for theirs. She will learn to fear me. Ordered to kill Sabine again. Does nothing ever change? That I kill you now, after all this time. Ironic.
It's also safe to say that she doesn't like the signs of Hourglass either. Ordering a hit on your life would do that, but this is just a testament to her genius. They feared how close she was to unlocking the secrets of Radiantite.
Follow me here, I'm working the problem. Just wanted a sounding board, but your voicemail will do. Hourglass tried to kill me. Why? Logically, there's only one answer: my research. They wanted to prevent humanity from discovering Radionite. So they send Omen to kill me, he fails, First Light happens, and everything changes. That all tracks. Hourglass has failed. But they keep working. They send operatives around the world to recover Radionite artifacts. Why? What are they still hiding? There must be something, Brimstone. There has to be more, for Omen's sake. For mine. Call me back.
And because of this lore drop in the Reckoning cinematic, we can assume that she was a key figure into Kingdom making Radionite a public energy source, and therefore making them a powerhouse of a company on Earth. Overall, even though Viper seems to have a hard, rugged exterior, she has moments where she reminds us that she's still human.
Neon, what was that meal you made earlier? It was good.
Oh, my nanay's adobo? You're, welcome.
These characteristics are necessary for Valorant's second in command. She was able to convince Brimstone to order a raid onto Sunset to stop the Radivore experiments. Let me know down below how you feel about Viper's story and what other theories you may have about them. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time, stay safe, and I'll be yapping in the next one.